Hello, Pokemon trainers! Professor Chime here, and today I actually got myself both of the Sun and Moon team-up decks. One is a Charizard-based deck, and one is a Blastoise-based deck. The Charizard one is called the Relentless Flame theme deck, and then the Torrential Cannon theme deck is based around Blastoise. Now, what does this actually entail? What do you get out of them? Now, let's start with Blastoise. Torrential Cannon, let it rain, let it pour, give your opponent a high pressure soaking with help from Blastoise. Use Golduck's Amnesia to keep the other side off balance as you power up a devastating Hydro Tackle attack, wash away the competition with the Torrential Cannon theme deck. It comes with 60 cards, a checklist, metallic coin, 2-player playmat, the code card for the deck itself, a deck box, and a quick guide and damage counters, just like any theme deck has since the beginning of time, basically. Now, what do you get in here? You get 2 Blastoises. One is the Hollow Blastoise on the front here. You get Wartortle, 2 of those, 3 Squirtles, 2 Golducks, 3 Psyducks, 2 Pidgeots, 2 Pidgeotos, 3 Pidgeys, 3 Farfetch'd. Now, then it gets a little bit specific here. You get Brock's Grit, you get Copycat, Cynthia, How, Nest Ball, Pokemon Fan Club, Professor Kukui, Switch, Timer Ball, and Water Energy. Now, Cynthia is basically a very common card to use in decks. It's basically a staple to put in decks anymore. A lot of people also put Guzma. It's your boy Guzma. So it's interesting that there is no Guzma in this one. I'd be interested how this one works out pretty well. Now, on the flip side with Charizard, Relentless Flame. Fire it up with the Relentless Flames of Charizard. This deck burns super hot, so keep feeding Charizard enough fire energy to create an unstoppable continuous blaze ball. Burn bright and burn true with the Relentless Flame theme deck. Comes with the same stuff in it. In fact, it's the exact same trainer cards. And instead of water energy, it's got 20 here of the fire energy. But otherwise, the Pokemon are the only things that change. Get Charizard, so Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Rapidash and Ponyta, Nidoking, Nidoqueen, Nidorina, Nidoran, Farfetch'd. And otherwise, you get all the same stuff that you see here. So, let's get them open. It's interesting as I'm opening this to mention that most of the time in old decks, you would have had very different decks that come out between the two that come in a set. And they wouldn't be the same deck, just with different Pokemon in them. Let's get this up. There we go. So, it's interesting to see that it's the exact same deck, just with different Pokemon. We are going to start with Torrential Cannon. These decks are always weird to try to open. What's the best way to open it? I guess on the side here. I'm sure there's easier ways. Someone's probably yelling at their screen right now as I open it on the side, because there's an easier way to do it. Alright, so, as always, you have... Oh, there we go. So, you have the 2-player playmat. You get damage counters. You get a GX tag team, the whole 9 yards. And then you get the coin. You get all of that. Torrential Cannon. It tells you the best way to play the deck, which is pretty cool. It'll really detail individual points to it and how you should be focusing on playing this deck. You also get a checklist for all the cards in the set. There's, 181 in the main set, plus all the secret rares. It explains Tag Team, Prism, Pokemon GX, and special rules for Pokemon GX. And then, get the code card, and you get the Blastoise Holo that goes there, and you get a Blastoise coin in this deck, which means you probably get a Charizard one in the other deck. So, we're going to open it up and add the Blastoise to the deck real quick. Okay. I do like this deck box, just so you can see it here. It's good art. I like the art on it. It appears that it's got, you know, copycat, and it's got a lot of things that people tend to use. It also looks like it's already been shuffled, so I hate to just add a card in, basically. One thing I did want to point out is the Cynthia here. So, Cynthia is in the deck as a normal card. This is, there's 2 of those in this deck, which means I have 4 total between the 2 decks. I might end up stealing them out of these decks, or I might end up just using these. I'm not sure exactly yet, but time will tell. I'm actually working on building a Mimikyu and Gengar GX base deck, and I need Guzmas and Cynthias for it. Don't have enough for that deck myself. So, come on. They are not making this easy on me. There we go. So, in the exact same sense, you get that Charizard that gives you continuous Ball Blaze, and you get the Charizard coin, like I mentioned. So all the same goodies, all the same goodies. It explains the deck itself. Not sure if you can read it on here, but feel free to freeze frame. It does have Nidoqueen in this deck, so I'm excited to try that out. Alright, so that's the Charizard art on it. Very cool. Well, very warm, I should say. The Charizard coin. The code. And then Charizard himself. That's pretty awesome. That's a good-looking card. We're going to add him to the deck. That way he does not get lost. Looking through here. I actually have, so, Brock's Grid. I got a holo in one of my pulls, but I actually got the full art. So I'm excited to add a full art Brock's Grid to one of my decks. This Nidoqueen here, I'm also looking for one of the team-up ones that are the promo. So that's something that I'm going to be creating a deck that adds those kind of things into it. So, otherwise, they're not bad decks. I would not use them for, like, high competitive play, like pro play, but there's nothing wrong with the decks, from what I can tell from the checklists. Other than that, they're good starter decks for any kid or anyone wanting to get into the game. This would be a good balancing point for anyone to grab 2 of these and play with a friend, kind of thing. As always, check out my other videos, and like and subscribe. Stay cool, everyone. Have a great night. Why don't you switch it up and check out the other videos to the side here, and then like and subscribe down below.